Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Ba'asham Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds. Preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel, right? Through your father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahweh dealt with the lesson. And then I don't know, you've been hearing, I've been hearing from other brothers, and I finally found a a video displaying what the Israeli council says. So we're gonna go ahead and play this real quick.
Peace, family. My name is Vicky Diller. Thank you so much for tuning into African Diaspora News Channel. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. Thank you so very much. Now, family, I want you to take a look at this very brief clip of an Israeli consul official making what appears to be some very disturbing, dangerous, and damaging statements about Black American youth in particular. I found this clip very important to discuss at this time because there's so much happening in our world, and we are supposed to have a very strong and democratic alliance with Israel. So it's disturbing to hear these comments. Watch this.
All of Israel is with the young generation of the Black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
So just to give a little bit of context to what you're hearing, you're listening to Judith Varney Shore, an Israeli consul general in Atlanta. And she says, quote, "The major problem with Israel is the young generation of the Black community." I'm going to say that again. How are our friends and allies in Israel saying their consul, this is a government official, why would she say, quote, "The major problem with Israel is with the young generation of the Black community"? What in the world is really going on? This is footage leaked from a censored documentary on some interesting ties between them and the United States. And so just for some of you may or may not know that Al Jazeera had done a documentary, and I was told that it was delayed and there were some other things that were going on there. So this is really interesting, and I find it fascinating, of course, that mainstream mass media isn't really talking about this. And I'm just saying that if Israel is supposed to be our democratic ally in that particular region of the world, we have some questions here.
All of Israel is with the young generation of the Black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
And the reason this is important is because if your governmental officials have these types of thought, what's going into the laws and the policies that are known and unknown? Your world engagement, geopolitics, how does that look when this is privately something that they believe is a problem for their nation some very many miles away? Now, I've discussed this before, that some of our police in America are trained by Israeli law enforcement. Did you know that some American law enforcement agents, I'm talking about state and local, travel to Israel for training? And did you know that certain officials from there come to the United States to train our police? And there have been reports that have traced some of the maneuvers, some of the anti-Black, very dangerous and detrimental maneuvers that cause our folks to be taken out or severely injured, that some of those tactics were taught, from their law enforcement agencies. So I think we're going to have to rethink some things, I believe, about this, and have a come to Jesus meeting on some of this stuff. Talk back to me. If you're saying you're an ally and we give, billions of dollars in support every single year, there's got to be something else that we discuss here. Somebody talk black to me. My name is Vicky Dillon. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Vicky Show here on African Diaspora News Channel.
Yeah. Yeah, this chick talking about we need to have a Jesus moment, right? Talking about the Israelis, the Jewish being allies, right? Talking about Democratic allies, right? On top of that, when our ancestors, when it comes to so-called politics, help create the Republican Party, right? Because the Democratic Party was all for keeping us in slavery, right? So we can't be democratic, right? And demo, right? Which means demonic, demonic or demon, crat meaning ruler, right? They want to rule by a demonic rule, right? So why in the hell would we be part of the Democrats? But this is Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. Salakia, thus shall in any wise set him a king over thee. Thus shall in any wise set a king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose, right? And the Lord chose who? Yahweh Shai, right? He didn't choose Esau, Edom. He didn't choose any of these other heathen nations, right? The so-called East Indians, which is Elam, right? He didn't choose the Arabs, Ishmael, right? He didn't choose Moab, the Chinese, right? He didn't choose Ham, the so-called Africans, or these different countries or whatever it is that's in Africa, right? The actual Hamitic people. He didn't choose them to be over you, right? One from among thy brethren, right? So we're the Israelites. So we've been telling you that you're the Israelites. Talk black to you. We've been talking black to you, so-called, right? Because we're really Israelites. Black is a color. We're giving you the nation of Israel, and coincidentally, I ain't saying it right, whatever. It has a lot of words saying black, 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 but somehow that ain't good enough for you, right? One from among thy brethren shall thus set king over thee, right? Because any president is just a king, right? You're voting Biden or Trump or any of these other devils, all they are freaking kings that's over you, right? Thus shall set a king over thee. Thus mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not of thy brethren. Right? So Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Let's scroll down. This is going to the Hebrew, right? Let's look up the word stranger, because you do have Israelite strangers, right? But it said a stranger that's not of your brethren, but you have strangers, Israelite strangers or foreigners that are your brothers, right? Foreigners, aliens, foreigner woman, harlot, right? That's America. America's a woman. It's a harlot, right? Known as a woman, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, right? That's the foreigner you're putting over you, right? By selecting these so-called presidents and voting and celebrating Christmas and all these Halloween, all these dumbass things that have nothing to do with the Israelites. Right? Even right here it says outlandish, right? It's an outlandish thing for you to set someone else over you. Right? Yeah, stranger, adulterous. Yeah, because basically you dealing with these other nations is adulterous, man. You dealing with America is adulterous in itself. Yeah, and it brings for what? Calamity. Yet disaster, misfortune. And that's what America was going to bring to you when you put a stranger over you. Right? Yeah, so right here, Wikipedia, right? And then this Wikia. Oh. Wicca. Wiktionary or whatever it's called. Right, which Wikipedia, but then I looked up a thing and they try to say that Wikipedia and Wiktionary is not the same, but then you just seen Wikipedia name was above this Wiktionary or whatever. So they're playing games. Even in that, it's just witchcraft, right? That's Esau Edom. This is the etymology, English, democrat, the second sense of a pun on democrat, right? Dictionary. It's pun. Pun. A joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have a different meaning, right? So you got this thing called Democrat. So you think it means something about democracy and whatever, right? But it has to do with demonic rule, right? Yeah. So the thing is giving you two different words that mean two different things, but they're given to you, to exploit you, right? Right? Like government in itself means mind control. So what do you think they're doing? It's to exploit and to mind control you, or to mind F you, right? Screw with your mind in a sense, right? Such says a Democrat countable and uncountable, right? Democraties, a government by or of supernatural what? Demons. So you're trying to join yourself to these supernatural demons? This is why the scriptures say that that our battle is not flesh and blood, right? Because these Edomites or these Jewish people pray to these demons. They rule by a democratic or demonic rule, right? Which is the government which in the same mythological exists in hell, right? Which America, we live in hell. That's a play on words, because even the Catholic Church came out and admitted that they made up the hell doctrine to get people to stay in church and to get people to pay tithes. Hell, that whole thing of hell don't exist. So, see, it's all a play on words. Democrat, when regarding as relating in being or better than government by the figurative demons, right? So that's why they want to play, like I said, they're already telling you it's a play on words, but now they have to play with, oh, you know what, this is figurative, it's not real. Demons, what? Evil people. Well, evil people are not fake, they're not figurative. So think about it, man. Or when otherwise held in contempt, right? And that's ultimately what we're doing. We're holding Esau, Edom in contempt. Matter of fact, I believe there's a scripture that says that we hold Esau, Edom in contempt, man. We're basically going into what? Judgment, right? Hold on. Yeah, so this is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 3. When the wicked cometh, right, and Esau is the wicked, according to Malachi 1 and 4, because our people are wicked, but Esau is the wicked, right? The border of wickedness, right? Where wickedness starts, and then ultimately where wickedness is going to end, because Esau's the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? Once Esau is gone, you Jakes won't be in transgression, right? In the fashion that you are. It says, when the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach, right? So this is the definition or dictionary, going into the definition of contempt in the dictionary, Oxford language, right? Saying contempt, the feeling that a person or a thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn, right? And ultimately, that's what we're going to give Esau, man. He deserves scorn, and we're going to give him, because that's what they've been giving us. They've been giving us scorn, so we're gonna give it back to them, right, on a high level, right? Because they actually are the wicked, right?
Ignominy.
A public shame or disgrace, and that's ultimately what we're gonna do in the kingdom of heaven, throughout the whole entire world, throughout the whole universe, right? Even on other planets. We're gonna go where Esau has never gone before, and wherever we go, we're gonna make him a public disgrace, right? Yeah, so this is English Standard Version, right? This is Ezekiel 36 and 5, right? English Standard Version, Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, power, surely I have spoken in my heat, jealousy, right? It's anger. The Lord's angry. He's heated. He's mad. Even you as Jakes, when you get mad, you be like, I was hot. I was heated, right? So that's the same thing the Lord said, that he's heated. He's hot, right? He's angry, right? In my jealousy, right? And if you have a beautiful woman, you're going to be jealous for that woman, especially if you love her. The Lord said that you're supposed to love your wife as you love yourself, as you love your own body. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he put his word above his own name. So therefore he loved himself. So therefore he loved his woman, right? He said he's going to deliver that woman, right? Starting with the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 of women and children, right? He's going to deliver that elect in the heat, anger, where heat or anger, heat, jealousy against the rest of the nations, right? So the Lord's going to gather all the nations, but the main nation that the Lord is dealing with is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, and against all of Edom, not just because when Solomon, when David, when even the kings that sat on the throne of David, right? They only had a portion of Edom before they rebelled, or and got from under the yoke. There was only a portion, but this time it's going to be all of Edom, all 5 tribes of Edom, right? So it says, Salakia, all of Edom, who gave my land to themselves, right? Over there, they fighting over the so-called the land of Jerusalem or Israel, which they actually moved Israel up, and they're not even in where the city of David was at. That's why it's still ruins over there. That's actually where the King David lived at, where the Judites lived, right? Where Bethlehem is at, right? But they didn't build their thing right there. Oh no, they couldn't. The Lord wouldn't allow it. But regardless, they didn't do it. You got to ask yourself why. Because they're not the people. And the thing is to rebuild Israel, right? If you're supposed to be so-called rebuilding it, you don't leave the things ruined. You build the temple back like how it was, all that other stuff. But that's why there's a need of a third temple, and that third temple is spiritual. Each man is a brick, a living stone, right? So it says, yeah, my land unto themselves, right? And that goes with the people too, because we're a people before a place, right? The ones who sold us as slaves, who owned the slave ships, and who was slave owners were the Jewish, as a possession with wholehearted joy and utter contempt, right? Looking down on Israel, that they might make it its pasture lands a prey, right? So they were looking down on us with utter disgust and all that other stuff, right? Yeah, you want us to talk black with you? We gave you so-called Jesus Christ, right? but his real name is Yahweh Shai. So we gave you that. Revelation chapter 1, verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, which is another phraseology speaking of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? A clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle, and his head and his hair, so the head on his head, the hairs on his face, because it's the law to keep a beard, right? Even though your Christian church tell you the laws are done away with, and they can walk around with a slick face and tell you Jesus loves you, but that's not the God of the Bible, right? The Son of God of the Bible either, right? We're white like wool, right? Giving you the understanding, right? The texture as white as snow, giving you the color, showing you that what he had great wisdom, right? A young man about to get ready to die, stress that he's bleeding blood, he's sweating blood, that will make your hair turn gray too, because he knows the things that he had to go through as far as the cross, right? For the elect's sake. See, but we give you so-called what you try to say is Jesus, but we give it to you in its purest form, right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if it burnt in a furnace, and his voice the sound of many waters, right? A deep voice. Jake, so-called black man, woolly hair, his feet the color of bronze, and bronze is already a dark color brown, right? Right? So we're giving you that he's a so-called black man, right? Right. So this is Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes, right? Which is the same thing, which make me believe that Daniel would have to be John reincarnated, having the exact same vision, reporting it down the exact same way, pretty much, right? So it says, and I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen. Linen is a garment, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz, which basically that's what they said, with a golden girdle, fine gold of Uphaz, right across his loins, right. His body also like the beryl, right, and beryl being green. It's a green gem. Well, they got a bunch of other gems now, but when the brothers first brought this out and we first started learning the truth, every time you put beryl up, it would nothing be these beautiful green gems that show up. It wouldn't be a bunch of other gems, different colors and red and yellow and purple. And nah, it only came up green, right? And green meaning what? Truth. Verde, just like in Spanish, verde, right, is green. Truth. So the Lord comes in what? Truth, right? It says, and his eyes, and his face as the appearance of lightning, right? Like that white hair. And his eyes as the lamp of fires, right? He's angry, coming back angry. Right, coming back angry. as a lamps of fire, and his arms, right? The Lord will give you a little bit more in this one. And his arms and his feet, because the other one it just said his feet. So his arm and his feet, like in color, because they'll tell you there's no color in the Bible. Like in color, to polish brass, and his voice, and the voice, so and the voice of his words, like the voice of a multitude, like same thing as many waters, really loud, right? This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, the book of the generation of Yahushai Hamashiach, the son of David. Who's the son of David? Solomon, right? The son of Abraham. Who's the son of Abraham? Isaac, right? So we're telling you through the generations what Yahushai, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, he was Solomon, right? And we'll go ahead and prove that. Right. So this is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 3. Right. And this is speaking on Yahushai. And this is Yahweh speaking to King David, saying that he's gonna leave his son on the throne, right? Right. And it says, but you can read the whole thing. You have to read the whole thing yourself. I'm just trying to get to the point. So, just get you to understand that this is actually the Most High, through a prophet, speaking to King David, telling him about his son Solomon, because he always knew that Solomon was going to rule. And he shall build an house for my name, right? Who built it? They call it the temple of what? Solomon. Or they call it the temple of David. But a lot of times people call it the temple of Solomon because Solomon was the one who built it, even though David, the one who designed it. Right? But really, ultimately, the Most High designed it. And he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom, what? Forever. So did Solomon live forever? Did King David live forever? So you need to ask yourself this. And these are so-called Christians that say they believe in God. Well, if the word of the Lord goes out and never come back void, how can the Lord say such a thing and it never come back? So those people who over there so-called in Jerusalem, where's King David? Where's the throne of David? That's going to be forever. They don't have it. They don't ever speak on it. Right? It says, I will be his father. Right? Ain't Yahushai, who the world English called Jesus Christ, the son of God, or the son of the Father, the son of the Most High? And he shall be my son, right? If he commit iniquity, he will be chastened with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. So King Solomon lived until a very old age and died. He did sin, right? Because he had made different temples for those different wives that he had, going into what? Idolatry being what? Adultery, spiritual adultery. So he sinned, which is the reason why the kingdom got ripped away from what's his name, Rehoboam, right? The northern kingdom went and the southern kingdom separated, right? That's the reason why that happened. So when did that kingdom live forever? When did David live forever? And when did who the world ignorantly calls or you people who ignorantly call yourself Christians, should we say, when did King Solomon get with the chastening of men? When did that ever happen? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Yeah, so this is Wikipedia. It says King Solomon, a central biblical figure who, according to the Hebrew Bible, was the builder of the first temple in Jerusalem and the last ruler of the kingdom of Israel, right? Which that's a lie. He was not the last ruler of the kingdom of Israel, because his son Rehoboam ruled, and then Rehoboam's sons and sons after him ruled for quite some time. When you read Kings, a lot of kings ruled after that, right? And they were all from the loins of David, right? And it says, after a reign of 40 years, in 1 Kings 11 and 42, he died of natural causes at around 55 years old. Now, this is just what they're saying, right? So let's go ahead in 1 Kings 11 and 42. Yeah, so this is the 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 42. And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all of Israel was 40 years, and Solomon slept with his fathers, which means he died, and was buried in the city of David, his father, and Rehoboam, his son, reigned in his stead. So what happened to him being the last king if his son Rehoboam ruled in his stead? See, you can't believe everything you read, but it gives you kind of a reference, right? Giving you an understanding. They got a little, but we went ahead and, when did it. So you're a Christian, you're so-called whatever believer. When did Solomon get scourged or whipped like he was just some regular guy, as if he wasn't the king of Israel? Right? That never happened. The only one who got whipped as if he wasn't the king of Israel was Yahushua, which means he came back as Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? Yeah, so this is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 27. Who need not daily as those high priests, right? Because Yahushua is the high priest. So we gave you Jesus, really, but his real name is Yahushua. We gave you that. We let you know he's a so-called black man, right? Who need not daily as those high priests to offer up sacrifice first for his own sins and then for the people. For this he did once. So when he did this, he offered up sins for himself as Solomon and for the people. But this time he did it only one time. It wasn't continuous like how the other priests had to do it. He only did it one time, because obviously he sinned as Solomon. When was Solomon chastened? Never. It's never happened. All right. So when was he chastened? Right? Come on. Think, if you're a so-called believer, it's only evident. We're giving you your Savior. We're showing you what's up. We're showing you that you can't participate in these so-called Democrats, the demonic rule of this country, right? They're only out to destroy you, man. Right? Right? Walking hand in hand with the enemy, and you or him will not go unpunished, man. Right? According to the scriptures, man. So it says, first for his own sins, then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself, right? For the law maketh men high priest, which have what? Infirmities, right? Illnesses, diseases, right? You get broken hearts. You can get stricken with sickness or disease or jealousy, envy, right? All these different things right? The lust of the world, right? All this pride, right? Because you're a high priest. But Yahweh Shai, he gave up himself, right? First for his own sins and then for the people. So he was in a very humble mind frame, man. Right? Not my will, but thy will, O Father Yahweh. Right? Right? But the word of what? An oath. What do you make an oath? An oath is like a promise. A word with but the word of oath, which was since the law maketh the sons who consecrated is who is consecrated forever, right? So hey, let's look up the word consecrated, and it's forever. Yes, it's a consecrated of a church or land, right? Which were people before a place. The Lord said the kingdom of heaven is in you. So where people before a place, before the land, have been made or declared sacred. So the Lord had declared the 144,000 and the 1/3 what? Sacred, man. Yes, Song of Solomon, chapter 5, and chapter 1, Salakia. Chapter 1, verse 5. For Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, and just so you don't get it twisted, the song of the song of songs, which is Solomon. So it's not nobody else, right? This is Solomon. I am black, right? So there you go. We're letting you know. Woolly hair, feet the color of bronze. Bronze is already a dark color, or polished bronze is already like a very dark brown. So then if you burn it, that's a very, very dark brown, right? which a lot of people call us what? Black people. But we're not black. We're many shades of brown. So I am black, but comely, which means beautiful. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar. Kedar, which is one of the sons of Abraham, which is Ishmael's son, his grandson, which is Kedar from Ishmael, and he was a very dark man, and Kedar meaning dark skin. So he said, I'm as dark as Kedar, right? A dark-skinned man, as the tents of Solomon. When you look up tents of Solomon, they're black, right? Sometimes you look it up and they try to make it look like a dusty brown, but don't we come in many shades of brown? The so-called, self-proclaimed so-called white man don't come in that color. So it doesn't make sense. So, but we know about the mind manipulation, right? The democratic, right? Democrat, right? Means what? A demonic rule to play tricks or play certain words upon your mind to trick you to fall into where they want you to go, right? Mind manipulation. It says, and you may say we are, oh, that's mind manipulation. Oh, you just trying to go off our emotions of saying black. But hey, either whether you hear or forbear, this thing is plain. The Lord said, make it plain upon tables. This is simple and it's plain. We know that brass, and even polished brass, is a very dark brown. If you burn anything, it turns black. So that's simple. Woolly hair. When you go into Daniel's, it tell you even the Most High has woolly hair. So what are you saying? But which I might have to go. I might have to end with that, with the Most High with hair of pure wool, right? Just so we ain't playing a game, right? It says, as the tents of as the curtains of Kedar, of the curtain of Solomon, Salakia, look not upon me, right? And then now he's going to go further. to let you know who these people are. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun, right? If Esau's in the sun, he's not going to turn black. He's not going to get darker. He's going to get red. And if they do get a sort of a brownish, it's going to be a brownish reddish tint, right? Right? To their so-called tan, but it's not a tan like how you would get dark or black, right? Even the Native Americans, I used to work on the on the tribe at Salt River out there by right by Scottsdale, and they would say, man, I don't even stay out the sun before I get black. But then at the same time, in their mind, it's not registering that they're the Israelites, that they're the same as us. Why? Because the sun can turn you black, right? You can get darker. The sun have looked upon me, my mother's children, right? Which is Esau, Edom, right? My mother's children are angry with me, right? Esau's angry with us. Why? We got the blessing, man. He's angry with us. You wonder why Esau hates you so much? He's angry with you. They have made me the keeper of their vineyards, right? Then we serve slavery. Then the Native Americans serve slavery under Esau, Edom, right? Whether they're the conquistadors, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, right? Didn't we do the same thing as so-called the Southern Kingdom, the so-called black, the so-called Jamaican, West Indies, Virgin Islands, the Haitians? Did we not serve slavery under these devils, right? Whether they speak French or English or Dutch or whatever they speak, Spanish, we served slavery, right? We were keepers of their vineyard, but my own vineyard have I not kept. We're not in the land of Israel. We got devils. We got a bastard should dwell in Ashdod, and they're dwelling in our land, fighting over our land so they could build a pipeline of natural energy so they can give the bottomless pit energy, right? And not just energy that they can control. They're gonna be able to turn on and off with a switch, on and off with whether your digital currency is up to par, right? Your social life is up to par as far as society is to say with this democratic rule that you want to be under, right? This demonic rule, right? Let me see. Salakia says, "Tell me, O thus whom my soul loveth," right? And then the Lord said, He's jealous for us. He's gonna destroy Esau, Edom, right? The Lord is raising up the elect, man, right? Who thus feedeth, right? And what am I doing right now? Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Lord willing, that it's really of the Most High and His Son. And this is no gimmick, no joke, no. I'm even tricking myself. I'm what do you call it? Deceiving myself. Lord willing, this is all truth and all edified to those ears that hear it, right? If any ears hear it, but hey, may the Holy Spirit let me grow. Nothing that y'all could come on, nothing like y'all dice, man, right? To make me grow within the truth and the knowledge, where thus make it thy flock to rest, right? So ultimately, we're gonna get that rest, man, eventually, right? The Lord said that land, right, and we're a people before a place, and the kingdom of heaven is within you, right? At noon, for why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy compassion, right? You want the Lord to have compassion on you. You don't want the Lord to destroy you. So ultimately, that's what's coming, man, right? And I'm just going to end it with this. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, right? All these other nations are going to get cast down. Whether they're Russia, China, North Korea, South Africa, North Africa, right? India, Tibet, Thailand, wherever you want to go. Where the Ishmaelites are at, where the Moabites are at, where the Ammonites are at, right? Because we're going to round you all up, man. So it says, who's what? It says, behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, to the thrones were cast down, and the ancient, right, because he's outside of time, of days did sit, right? He's on his throne room. He don't got to move. He don't got to come off his throne, right? So God need to come talk. Well, hey, he's going to, man, via death, pestilence, and ultimately ICBM missiles. He's going to speak to you. Whose garment was white as snow. It's talking about his garment, not his hair, not his face, none of that. It's talking about his garment. His garment was white as snow, and garment white being what? Pure. Meaning he's a purity. He's righteous, right? And his head and his hair on his head is like the pure wool. So who has hair of pure wool? The so-called black man that you call a nigga in America, who this woman says that's the problem, right? In America. And yeah, we're a big problem spiritually, not carnally. We don't deal with carnal. The Lord said he's going to do it. And I will, and I beheld till the thrones were, the Lord is casting down these thrones. It got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And the hair of his head is like the pure wool. His thrones was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fires. That's what the chariots, the things that they're afraid of. The curse that goeth through the whole earth, man. They're afraid of that fathership coming, man. And it's on its way. Right? It's bigger than the earth. Yeah, how about that? You know? So call on Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bashem Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, Shalom to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence and a Bible ball.